目指した未来や全ての君を背負ってたどり着いてみせるから閉ざされた未来を終わらせて今度こそは全て守るよ最後の運命をつかめるやろ。
Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a What If series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra.
Hey guys, and welcome to What If Goku Was in One Piece. Now, you guys have been waiting for this for a while. I'm sorry about that, and it's something that I wanted to say. So just to retcon, in the last part I did say that Goku's bounty was 1 point something and Luffy's bounty was 1 point something. No. Goku's bounty last time I said was 7.5 billion berries. Yes, 7.5 billion berries. Higher than Gold Roger's bounty. And guess where Luffy's at? Not 9, like say for example, he's just one step, like 8.1 billion berries. Since he's a captain and he has a strong pirate on his team, yeah. So, yeah, with that being said, the Straw Hats would get infinite amounts of bounties, and some of the crew would be mostly at almost a billion. See, Nico Robinson's her poneglyph thing, and with how much knowledge she gets from Goku about how the world works, how to go everywhere and discovering these poneglyphs, even teleporting to places where the poneglyphs at. When Goku can feel this reminiscent energy off of the poneglyphs, he can necessarily get there with his teleportation technique. Now, Nico Robin bounty would be at 800 million berries. Nami's would be at 600 million berries. Sanji and Zoro would get 1.3 billion berries, and Sanji would get 1.2 billion berries. Yeah, see that little thing I did there? Alright, and for Chopper, you already know he's the gag of the whole crew. Now, Frankie, he has 400 million berries. And then then Brook, 500 billion berries. 500 million berries. I said billion, don't quote me on that in the comments. Million. Anyway. And Usopp, same as Robin, since he has that whole god title, they really took that serious as if he's a god or something like that. And Usopp is scared. He's nervous about how he has 1 million less than Robin though, but still though 700 million berries is a lot. And who else am I forgetting? So yeah, you got Brook, I mentioned Chopper, Frankie, Nami, Robin, Zoro, Sanji, Luffy, Goku, and it's one more person that I am forgetting. Oh yes, I thought Jinbei. So yeah, Jinbei wasn't necessarily with the crew as of yet, so we're not gonna too much go over his bounty since he really didn't do much of anything yet, since they haven't got to Whole Cake Island or anything like that. So yeah. Now the team gets to Whole Cake Island, and of course Luffy has his regular battles with Cracker and everything else, but we're going to be fast forwarding from all of that. Now, with that being said, this is where Sanji and Luffy would get into that fight with each other, with Sanji then leaving Luffy on the ground and getting into his car and, the carriage, and then leading away. As Luffy would shout out to Sanji, telling him that he's not going to eat anything until that he returns to this same spot right here, or he's going to starve to death because he can't become king of the pirates if Sanji is not a part of his crew. And Luffy sticks by that. Like, he stuck by that a lot. So, of course, all the battles would have happened just like in canon, and Luffy and Nami would have ended up getting captured. But, not captured in the way that you think. They wouldn't even get captured at all, now that you mention it. Luffy would have beat each and every person that came to that tree spot. Luffy said that he's going to stay here, and in this universe, he meant what he said. Luffy starts fighting, and he fights ferociously too. With all the training that he's received, with being on Roof Skyner with Goku for like 3 years, yes. Luffy is tagging their ass, not doing anything to him. Luffy is throwing gum red rock, like all that, like seeing future foresight. And then Luffy hits somebody like speed blitz somebody and hits somebody directly in the stomach with the Gum Gum Red Hawk uppercuts. Throws out a Gum Gum Whip. Nami uses her climate attack and she's using basically storms to help out Luffy, aid Luffy as best as she can. Luffy is not having a difficult time at all, and they don't really do too much get captured. It's a whole bunch of bodies just littered out of there, and Luffy is exhausted, and he leans against the tree, and he tells Nami to head on to regroup with the others, and that he will hold this spot down. And she says yes, and then she leaves without getting captured. She regroups with all the other ones, and Chopper and Brook basically ties up Brule, or whatever her name is. I think it's Brule, but it ties her up, and then they manage to escape. Well, him, Chopper, Brook, and Carrot. Well, Brook is on his own mission. Chopper and Carrot. They managed to tie up Brule and then transform themselves out of the mirror dimension to find Nami. They regroup with Nami, and so on and so forth. Now, with all that being said, of course, that Sanji would come up to notice that Carrot is basically in disguise as she wants to kill Sanji and his family. And once she reveals his eye to him, basically Sanji is just hearing a lot of heartbreak. And you can only imagine that, Sanji's family treats him like a piece of shit and stuff like that. So, yeah, something else I didn't mention. When Sanji went against King, of course, I'm going to let you guys know this now. Sanji is strong. Sanji is real strong right now. But using your own people and trying to fight while using your own comrades, Sanji is not finna belittle himself or scoop down to his dad's level just to basically prove a point that he's stronger than him, because his dad is a cheap bastard who uses his own comrades to basically fight his battles, basically pushing them in for trying to throw Sanji's battle off, or just throwing the fight off to basically put Sanji's guard down. And you already guessed what the outcome was with that one. Sanji ends up losing. So yeah. Now, upon all the battles going the same way, yes, they really do go the same way. Nothing too much changes. Only thing that noted is that some of the Straw Hats that are on Whole Cake Island are stronger than their canon counterparts. And that is said a lot. But anyway, so apart from that battle, apart from everything that happens, if we go into specific detail, Sanji would have... This is part what I wanted to change right here. When Sanji was in the kitchen room and he was eating with his brothers and sisters, and one of the brothers would throw the plate at the the waitress, Sanji would grab the plate and the food would slide off of it, and he would continue to eat it off the ground, saying that it was very delicious, that he's sorry that the food was wasted like this. He scoops it up on a plate, and he tells her that he's sorry about her dish being tossed around like this to these fools. And this is where Sanji would give the plate back to her. She would just thank Sanji for doing that for her, and she would walk away from the group. And a few moments later, when Sanji noticed that the girl was on the ground, she was beaten to a near inch of her life. Now, this would make Sanji's blood boil. Literally, his blood would boil. His fist would radiate like this armament hockey over him, and Sanji's eyes would just be red with anger. Now, this is where he would march towards his brothers, and in a fast motion, this is a technique that Goku taught him, is called Blitz. And in a fast motion, he would hit and kick and punch and beat down each one of his brothers, even causing them to transform and use their whole best name thing, the canister or whatever you want to call that, and trying to combat against Sanji. Sanji's fast, strong, formidable, flexible, agile, just dodging, evading, and his observation hockey is on fleek, like fleek. Now, with that being said, Sanji is looking around and observing all three of his brothers, and then he beats them. I'm literally, they don't have comrades to put nobody in front of him. He literally beats them in an inch of their life and tells them that if you ever touch that girl again, I will kill the three of you where you stand. I have no respect for neither one of you, even if you're my family. The only thing you gave me was pure hell. Sanji looks at his brothers with pure malice in his eyes, and as he stomps on the one with blue, the blue one, I think, I don't want to know. I don't really too much care about that nigga, because all three of them is assholes. Fuck them niggas. I'm sorry. But anyway, so Sanji stomps on one of the brothers' chest, and he looks at him and says, if any one of you three goes to hurt that girl again, hurt that waitress again, you will have to feel my wrath, and I promise you it's not going to be pleasant. Sanji would walk away and just walk down the hall, leaving his brothers on the ground, knocked unconscious. Now, with that being said, that's just something I just wanted to implement in there, because I feel like in that situation, Sanji, he could have did something. Even though he was, I don't know. That's something I wanted to add into that. I hope you guys like it. But anyway, let's continue on. So, With all that being said, everything would play out normally, and then Sanji, after Sanji got told off by Pudding, well, her overheard Pudding when he was talking to his sister, he would start walking after he start failing to light his cigarette. He'll start walking down the path, and then all of a sudden, well, he would get to where Luffy is, and Luffy's just sitting there with all these bodies just scattered everywhere. And Luffy is just kneeling by the tree. And the same visualizations that you got in the anime is the same thing that happens here. Like, Luffy ends up talking to Sanji, Luffy punches Sanji, and they have their whole revelation, and Sanji wants to come back to the Sunny. And yeah, so everything plays out with that. Now, if I'm rushing over this arc, I'm sorry, but it's not a lot of stuff I gotta cover. So, because I want to get back to Goku, because this is what if Goku was in One Piece, so... Now, with that being said, after all the battles, Luffy and Big Mom go face to face with each other. Now, Big Mom and Luffy are having a fight. This is a drastic change. After all the plans are basically covered up and they are basically trying to escape. Big Mom is running after them. Luffy turns it to get forth. And this time around, Luffy and Big Mom actually go at it. They really, really go at it. Luffy is hitting Big Mom with some bangers. And Big Mom is feeling each and every one of these hits. And not to say that she's not Thraxing, I'm sorry. But not to say that she's not showing Luffy what's up too. She's hitting him with bangers too. She's punching him in the stomach, slamming him on the ground, using Zeus and Prometheus to basically damage Luffy more too. And this is where the fight gets so climactic that it starts destroying multiple buildings around them as they clash with Conqueror's Haki, and the color of Supreme Kings just start radiating everywhere, knocking some of the people unconscious and even making some people kneel and get on one knee as it's so radiant now. While Big Mom and Luffy them are fighting, the rest of his crew ends up getting on the ship to get away. And Brule, when Luffy does something, he knocks Big Mom down, and this is what he does. He knocks her out cold. He hits her with the Gum Red Rock, but Brule comes in and slips Luffy into the mirror dimension, and Luffy does not know where he's at, because one minute he was fighting Big Mom, but all of a sudden he just lets out smoke and then falls to the ground, not unconscious, but just breathing heavily, as Big Mom is knocked unconscious, but she's not too knocked unconscious, because she gets right back up, and she looks for where Straw Hat is, and she lets out this big angry scream and yell as she's enraged that Straw Hat was able to even touch her like this, or even to knock her on the ground, let alone knock her unconscious. Yeah, she's pissed off right now, and so she starts charging at the Straw Hat crew full speed. God help them. Now we cut over to where Luffy is, and Luffy is going against Katakuri. Well, this is who the guy is. Luffy asks who he is, and he says, "My name is Katakuri." And then both of them exchange and meet and greets and everything, but then Katakuri starts to attack Luffy with his mochi fruit. Luffy jumps, evades, dodge, and the both of them get into their unique battle with each other, with Katakuri mimicking most of Luffy's attacks. Now, this is where Luffy would tell him that I don't have time for this, and Luffy starts to basically battle against Katakuri until the 10-minute time limit is up, and then he transforms into Snake Man. Then Katakuri gets real serious and starts to berate Luffy with a bunch of attacks over and over and over again, but Luffy is not backing down from this. Luffy then turns into uses his Gear Force and turns into Snake Man and hits Katakuri in multiple shots, even predicting where Katakuri is going to land at. Like I said, future foresight. Now Katakuri and Luffy is having a huge scuffle with each other. A huge scuffle. Now, what I'm saying about with Big Mom is that when he knocked her out of conscious, that Gum Red Rock caught her off guard. She wasn't expecting it to be that strong. And neither was Katakuri, because Katakuri is on the edge right now. He's basically on the back foot. He's not having as much luck as he did in the first fight. It's not as one-sided when they first started fighting as it is now. It's more on equal terms, but Luffy is getting steps ahead of him. And Katakuri is getting hit with multiple shots as he's firing off multiple shots against Luffy. The both of them attack each other, and you can tell by the damage on both of them that they're breathing heavily. Katakuri's scarf starts to fall to the ground, and Luffy just smiles at him as he has a black eye. And this is where Luffy and Katakuri do their final attack to hit each other, and Luffy's King Cobra hits Katakuri directly in the stomach. Luffy blocks the blunt attack that Katakuri is about to hit him upside the head with, and the attack that hit Katakuri in the stomach made him cough up, split in blood to a point where he fell directly on his back. Katakuri didn't intentionally fall on his back. No, he's unconscious and he fell out. That's the story. So, With that, Luffy falls down on his knees, breathing heavily after exhausting so much energy and so much effort. After all, he just fought Big Mom and Katakuri, two people at the same time, when she was only supposed to fight one, but in the same time, yeah. So with all that being said, Luffy ends up leaving the mirror dimension and putting his hat over Katakuri's mouth, having some respect for him. Now, when Luffy gets out of the mirror dimension, he's still exhausted and everything. And this is where Luffy and Big Mom would continue their fight, because she's still chasing after the ship. Sanji hasn't finished the cake yet. So her and Luffy still gets into an enraged battle with each other. And she ends up hitting Luffy with a huge amount of armament haki and her Prometheus attack, sending Luffy crashing towards the ground. Now, Luffy is unconscious at this moment. Big Mom hasn't made it to the ship. She's still chasing after him because Straw Hats managed to get out of the ship. But once Luffy came out of the mirror, he hit Big Mom with a Gear 3rd, Gum Elephanto gun. That's what you call that. And punched her ass way back. So Big Mom and Luffy are still fighting in the city. And then Luffy Chopper has a piece of the mirror. So basically, Luffy still has Brule next to him. He's tied her up too. So he's basically going to use her mirror thing to get back to where he was to leave. So Katakuri is still in the dimension knocked out. So while Brule is out there, she's in the midst of this with Luffy, and both of Big Mom and Luffy is fighting ferociously, which scares her immediately to the point where she hides somewhere. And Luffy knows where she is. His observation haki is basically telling him where she is, so she can't get away. So while they're fighting, Big Mom ends up hitting Luffy with a very ferocious attack and sending Luffy shooting towards the ground with this huge crash-like explosion. And the Straw Hats seen this are worried about what happened to Luffy. And Big Mom is just angry by this as she starts to walk towards Luffy. But Luffy is on the ground unconscious, and she noticed that she doesn't hear a heartbeat from Luffy. So she pretty much shrugs her shoulders and says that Straw Hat is dead. And most of the Straw Hats on the ship, Nami, Chopper, Brook, they all start to basically cry because they can't believe what she just heard. Big Mom just said Luffy is dead. And Luffy can't be dead. No, he can't. They refuse to believe that as she starts to charge back at the Straw Hats, basically to kill them, to basically rip them from off the face of the earth. But all of a sudden, Big Mom stops in her tracks as she looks back to Luffy smiling. A steam would start to emit from his mouth as his hair would start to irradiate in flames. And this is where Luffy's shirt would go from a regular red color to a white color, and this ring pattern, just like Gear 4, would form around Luffy. And Luffy would just start laughing as his heartbeat would sound like drums. Big Mom would be like, what the hell is going on? And Luffy would be on the ground bouncing, laughing hysterically. And he would give off so much joy, so much pressure that when you look at Luffy, it's like he's giving off this exhaustive happiness towards him. So then their battle would continue. Big Mom and Luffy would fight it out. And this is where Big Mom would start to see that Luffy's attacks are like this cartoonish fashion. Luffy is grabbing fire and throwing at her, grabbing lightning and throwing at her. This battle is climactic, destructive, and it is destroying a lot of Whole Cake Island. Not a lot, but it's causing a lot of mass damage between Luffy and Big Mom, these two titans clashing against each other. Now, this is where Luffy hits Big Mom directly in the stomach and then grabs Big Mom's leg and slams her on the ground like a cartoonish fashion, basically slamming over and over and over and over and over again, and throwing Big Mom through a multiple punch of buildings. And Luffy laughs at Big Mom, pointing his finger at her. Now, this is where Big Mom would get up and say, how is this possible? I'm not made of rubber, but when he touches me, it's like my whole body just becomes this rubbery fashion. And Luffy is right in Big Mom's face as he buffs up his arm and uppercuts Big Mom directly in the jaw. And this is where Big Mom sends out Prometheus and sends out, basically turning her hair into fire as the both of them get into a heated battle with each other. And then most of the Straw Hats are seeing this. Now, this battle is getting dragged out. Luffy and Big Mom go into for a final clash because they're getting at their ends meet. While Luffy is basically dodging, evading, blocking, pulling up the ground as if it was rubber, turning stuff into rubber, basically hitting Big Mom with her own attacks. Big Mom tagging Luffy. Luffy is exhausted, but he's using a lot of energy. And this is where he comes up with his final attack, Gum Gum Red Rock. Only this time he's in Gear 5. Now he hits Big Mom as she tries to counterattack with her own attack, trying to basically subdue Luffy, but it doesn't work as Luffy powers through Big Mom's attack and punches her through the ground, hitting her with so much force that not only does it knock her out, but it leaves her on the ground unconscious. Literally unconscious. You're not getting back up from this. Then Luffy falls to the ground, and then he basically shrivels up, but then he basically looks for where Brule is. He slings out his arm, grabs Brule, goes into the mirror dimension, sees that Katakuri is still knocked out unconscious. Then he basically she uses her power to basically teleport him out of the mirror dimension and back onto his ship, and then he crushes the mirror. And then Luffy just falls down, breathing heavily, and the Straw Hat, everybody is excited. They're elated that Luffy is okay. So once everything's said, all these ships are chasing after them because, well, most of the people or most of the commanders are trying to capture the Straw Hat Pirates, but they managed to get away with the coup de burst. And now we're at Wano. Now everything that's been playing on Wano plays out normally. Goku mostly was just training, staying out of trouble, learning the secrets of Wano, but he would occasionally be trying to fight against Kaido, but he wanted to most likely wait till Luffy got here. Now, once they got to Wano, this is where the battle would ensue. Everything would play out for normal. Luffy would meet Zoro and everything and so forth, and all that would happen. But before they get to Wano, that's when Luffy's bounty was increased to 8.1 billion because of how he defeated Big Mom. And his bounty, well, not 8.1 million. I'm going to upgrade it. 9 billion. Put it that way. Yes, 9 billion. Luffy has a bounty of 9 billion. And unfortunately, Goku's still at 7.5 billion, but this doesn't mean that he's weak. It just means that Goku hasn't taken out an emperor yet, but he did take out an admiral, so yeah. Anyway, everything's going to be played out for normal. You're going to see. So once we get to Wano, everything plays out normal. Goku and everything, the Straw Hats regroup and meet each other. So now we're at the part to where they're all fighting Kaido, and Kaido shoots like this bowl of breath at his crew and everything. This would make Luffy and Goku mad, like very angry, to the point where Luffy and Goku would charge at Kaido and hit Kaido with their strongest attack. Goku's arm would be coated in armament hockey and have this blue glow around it, and Luffy's arm would just have this flame-like pattern and it would grow huge, and they both would hit Kaido with so much force to send him flying back. Now Kaido would feel this. Yes, out of everything in his life that ever touched him or basically tried to kill him, he would feel the blunt of this force, and it would make him cough up blood, and he would go tumbling against the ground as he basically stands back up, basically staggered by the attack of Goku and Luffy, and he's looking at both of them. Now this is where Kaido doesn't have the help of Big Mom. Big Mom is knocked out unconscious, and I don't think she's gonna make it there in time in order to help Kaido. So yeah, that's not happening. So sorry for Kaido, you're not getting help from Big Mom. Anyway, so with Goku and Luffy basically fighting against Kaido, this is where Luffy uses a new transformation that he's learned, and it's Gear 5. And Goku uses a new transformation that he's learned, basically not necessarily a transformation, it's more like something akin to him. So what he does is he closes his eyes and he opens them, and basically his eyes are silver. It's more like him tapping into the Great Ape transformation without the necessarily aggressive side. And this is right here. I'm saying right now is that Super Saiyan is like more the aggressive, like transformation of anger, more than the Akari form. Akari form can be accessed without the necessary needs to anger or basically berserkness. Because if I'm more akin to it, I believe that Broly is just a huge specimen, but in this one I'm gonna make it work. And if you don't like it, you just don't like it, but I'm gonna make it work. So Goku opens his eyes, and his eyes are yellow, and basically Luffy go against Kaido, and they're battling it out. Now Kaido has his hybrid form, and he hits them with all their force and everything. He's doing good fighting against Goku and Luffy. I mean, Kaido knows about Goku because he's pretty much heard about his voyage over the seas and helping the Straw Hats and everything. So this guy would train up a little bit. Not like that's gonna work. But anyway, so as Goku and Luffy are fighting against each other, fighting against Kaido, Goku sees that Kaido throws basically his bat, or basically caveman bat, at the crew, and it ends up hitting Nami, literally hitting Nami directly in the side. She tries to block it, but it hits her, and it ends up breaking her forearm. And this is where Goku sees this, and Goku gets mad, really mad, and Luffy does too, as he hits Kaido with a Gum Gum Red Rock. Look, Goku basically goes over to her to see if Nami's alright, and he uses his energy to basically heal her arm from injury. This is where she looks at Goku, and Goku's hair is standing up. If you like the card from now, I got the Super Saiyan. Goku's hair is standing up now. His eyes are blue and his hair is yellow as he's emanating an aura as he looks at Kaido with a ferocious look. And Luffy and Goku starts tagging Kaido. Goku is doing more damage than for Kaido, like an extraordinary amount of damage. Kaido is getting hit by Goku, and it's almost as if two punches make him cough up blood. It's like staggering him a lot. Kaido using everything he has. He even transformed into his whole dragon form and goes on fire, but that doesn't mean anything to Goku, as Goku just grabs him and starts swinging him around, slamming him against the ground over and over and over and over and over again, throws him into Luffy, and Luffy punches him to the ground. Goku kicks him up into the air, and Luffy kicks him back to the ground. And it's just a ping-pong attack between Kaido, Luffy, and Goku. Kaido is hitting them and hitting him with multiple attacks, but it's like, when he hits Goku, it's like Goku is just taking the damage. He's just looking at Kaido with a very angry scowl. Goku then looks at Kaido and then tells him to shoot his bowl of breath at him. Luffy is laughing on the ground, just bouncing up and down, and Kaido shoots a huge bowl of breath at Goku, to which Kaido then says, "Yeah, you're so cocky. That should have killed you." And Goku is just standing right there, unscathed, undamaged. Basically, the only thing that Kaido took was Goku's shirt off his body, and that's it. That's it. Then Goku and Luffy do their final attack to knock Kaido out for good. Kaido erupts in his flame body and tries to go against them, but you got a Gum Gum Red Rock, and you got a Goku who's putting his hands together and forming a beam in his hands. This is the time that Goku is about to get ready to use a Kamehameha, and he shoots it directly at Kaido, and Luffy shoots his fist directly at Kaido, and both of them attacks right there, you can already pretty much tell that Kaido is not going to come up out on top. So Kaido gets defeated eventually. Not defeated. He gets defeated. Very good. Very good. Anyway, so with that being said, Kaido ends up defeating. Well, not Kaido. I'm stuttering all over the place. Luffy and Goku ends up defeating Kaido and restoring peace to Wano. Yamato ends up joining the crew and everything. And of course, because they had their similar battles with her, and she was joining in too, so they met her and everything. Although the encounters would have become differently, but yeah, Luffy and Goku just freed the island from Kaido's torturous, basically diplomatic restraint. Put it that way, and it would cause the Wano people a lot of great grief when he was in charge. Now they have a great sense of relief that he's now put down. Now, with that being said, this is where they go grab. This is where they throw a party. They throw a huge feast. They meet Yamato, because I said their same encounters would have not been the same as in canon, since they met her at a later date when Luffy got beat by Kaido. Anyway, so a whole bunch of things play out just very differently, but then again, they will still play out normally. Anyway, with that being said, Law and Kid wouldn't have really got that much stuff to put in on this one, since Goku and Luffy were there to take down Kaido. They would have been helping out and everything doing that, but they just got a little small increase. It wouldn't have been as much as increase that you've seen in the manga, but it would have been a little small increase for them. But other than that, the new emperors and the new bounties, well, Luffy's bounty is now at 10 billion berries. Goku's bounty is at 10 billion berries with Luffy's, and both of them have been named Emperors of the Sea. Yes, Luffy has an emperor that is a part of his crew, and he's also an emperor. Goku, Luffy, Shanks, and Blackbeard well, not Blackbeard, because Blackbeard it's not Blackbeard. It's not Blackbeard. I was getting ready to say Blackbeard. Yeah, get destroyed. Anyway, so not Blackbeard, but yeah. Anyway, it's not too much to go on describing that and anything like that, because I could pretty much go into my own story if I wanted to. But anyway, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. And without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Thank you guys for loving this series as much as you did.